Welcome to World Business. Now, as Managing Director of Wedbush Securities, Dan Ives has built a reputation as one of Wall Street's most recognizable tech analysts, known for his clear calls and often prescient views on the company's driving digital transformation. His reach has only grown this year. In June, his AI Revolution ETF launched in New York, and with 3 months, attracted over $500 million in assets, cementing his place as one of the fastest growing thematic funds of 2025. At the same time, Ives has taken on a new role as chairman of 8Go Holdings, leading a $250 million strategy around Sam Altman's identity startup World, an ambitious bet at the crossroads of AI and crypto. I'm delighted to say Dan joins us now. Dan, welcome to World Business. Great to see you.
Great to be here, Guy. Thanks.
Okay, let's start with, there's a long list of good news to talk about. Let's start with the ETF. It broke through $500 million in assets in just 3 months of the launch. Beyond the understandable AI hype, what explains such rapid investor confidence?
Yeah, and I think now we're almost 670. Look, to me, it's about this AI revolution that's just in its, what I view as probably second inning of a 9-inning game. In other words, like, we're going to talk about trillions of dollars that are going to be spent. And the whole goal that we talk about in the ETF, it's identifying who are the 30 winners, the Ives AI 30. And I think that's how this plays out, because investors are realizing this is a fourth industrial revolution led by, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Palantir, but many others in this tech revolution.
And you talk about AI 30 there. How does it avoid, what strategies do you need to deploy to avoid it being just another tech-heavy basket?
Look, that's part of it, right? 3 million air miles the last 25 years. Like, investors, they follow us to understand who are the trends, who are the winners. Remember, it's chips, software, consumer, autonomous, but also who are the second, third derivatives as this all plays out. And that's why to us it's so important to have an ETF that captures, but dynamically, because this could change every quarter in terms of some of the winners and some that come off.
Dan, to be honest, there aren't many detractors out there, but those that do exist would argue that AI valuations are already a bit stretched. They talk of bubbles. What's your perspective? Is there any chance at all that we're in a world of sort of hype and overvaluation?
Look, Guy, I think this is a tech bull market for the next 2-3 years. The trillions being spent, the derivative impact. That's why to us, I don't view it as a bubble. I actually think investors are underestimating what it's going to look like, robotics, autonomous in the future world. And that's why we're so bullish. And I think if you just focus on valuation 1 year out, you've missed every transformational tech stock the last 20 years.
And we know you've got to go, so we just want to, we don't want to waste your time. But there is one project that people are particularly interested in at the moment, and that's your work with Sam Altman's World project, $250 million strategy. Tell us about that project and how you guys are working together.
Yeah, we're so excited at 8Co. Look, this, to me, WorldCoin, it's an intersection of AI and crypto. If you look at the orb, iris scanning, what I really view is that's going to be the next layer of authentication. It's going to be a single sign-on in an AI world. So we're big believers in terms of making the bet on World in terms of the value, but really more importantly, this is much more of an AI tech play. This is an infrastructure play. 16 million have already signed on. We think 100 million in the next year. That's why I joined this. I think this is really the start of this revolution, especially on the human-proof AI authentication side.
Dan, we love following your words and your analysis. We thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you soon. Thanks again, Dan. Okay, that brings us to the end of our short conversation with the enigmatic Dan Ives there, a voice who has been at the heart of both Wall Street's embrace of artificial intelligence and the bold new push into digital identity. His work spans the explosive growth of his AI ETF and his leadership role in Sam Altman's World Project, each reflecting how technology and finance are converging at speed. As ever, the opportunities are vast, but so too are the challenges of regulation, trust, and sustainability. From New York to global markets, the debate over AI and identity will only intensify. Up next, let's take a look at the other business headlines making waves this week.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Friday, with the Dow dropping about 0.6%, the S&P 500 closing essentially flat, and the Nasdaq gaining more than 0.4% to record another record closing high. Investors are laser focused on the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting next week, which concludes on Wednesday. Traders expect the central bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points after recent data showed long-standing weakness in hiring and easing inflation concerns. The anticipated rate cut is just one catalyst that has driven Wall Street's main indexes to multiple recent record highs, says Anna Rathbun, founder and CEO of Granadilla Advisory.
This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna, and that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets. The rest of the markets seem to be on standby as to what may happen next week with the Fed. And I think they're a lot more sensitive to what will happen to rates for the rest of the year.
Friday's notable stock moves included Microsoft, which rose nearly 2%, after the technology giant avoided a possible hefty EU antitrust fine by offering customers reduced prices for office products, excluding Teams. Shares of Tesla jumped nearly 7.5% after its board chair dismissed concerns that CEO Elon Musk's political activity had hurt sales at the EV maker and said the billionaire was, quote, front and center at the company after several months as part of the Trump administration. With Friday's surge, Tesla shares remained down 2% in 2025. And shares of Warner Brothers Discovery jumped 17%, extending a surge from Wednesday, when a source said that Paramount Skydance was preparing a bid for the struggling media company. U.S. stocks ended mixed on Friday, with the Dow dropping about 0.6%, the S&P 500 closing essentially flat, and the Nasdaq gaining more than 0.4% to record another record closing high. Investors are laser focused on the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting next week, which concludes on Wednesday. Traders expect the central bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points after recent data showed long-standing weakness in hiring and easing inflation concerns. The anticipated rate cut is just one catalyst that has driven Wall Street's main indexes to multiple recent record highs, says Anna Rathbun, founder and CEO of Granadilla Advisory.
This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna, and that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets. The rest of the markets seem to be on standby as to what may happen next week with the Fed. And I think they're a lot more sensitive to what will happen to rates for the rest of the year.
Friday's notable stock moves included Microsoft, which rose nearly 2%, after the technology giant avoided a possible hefty EU antitrust.
All right. This is Meta Ray-Ban Display. These are glasses with the classic style that you'd expect from Ray-Ban, but they're the first AI glasses with a high-resolution display and a whole new way to interact with them, the Meta Neural Band. The display is large enough to watch a video or read a thread of messages, It appears in one eye, it's slightly off-center so it doesn't block your view, and it disappears after a few seconds when it's not in use so it doesn't distract you. So for the glasses, we're replacing the keyboard, mouse, touchscreen, buttons, dials, with the ability to send signals from your brain with little muscle movements that the neural band will pick up so you can silently control your glasses with barely perceptible movements. The Meta neural band is a huge scientific breakthrough. We have built a neural interface into a durable, lightweight, comfortable, and good-looking wristband with 18 hours of battery life and is water resistant. Okay, I could go ahead and I could dictate with my voice, I could send a voice clip, but I've got this neural band, and it's silent. And now, and you know, a lot of the time you're around other people. So it's good to just be able to type without anyone seeing and play California Dreamin'.
From Spotify, here's California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas.
All right, and if I want to adjust the volume, I act like there's a volume control in front of me, and I can just turn it, and there we go. When I watch TV, I pretty much always have the subtitles on. I can hear fine, but I find that it just makes it easier to follow along. But if you have an issue hearing, then I think that this is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I agree, and it's also cool, it can do translation. So if I'm talking to somebody who speaks a different language than me, I'll get a translation in my native language right on the display, real-life subtitles.
Now, these are the original and iconic design. I think that this is actually the most popular glasses design in history. And now, with double the battery life, I wear them all day. They never run out of battery. It's got 3K video recording, double our previous resolution for sharper, smoother, and more vivid videos. So we are releasing the Ray-Ban Metas in more colorways to match your style. Here's a bunch of the new ones. And you know, last year at Connect, we also released a limited edition clear frames. And they were pretty popular. They sold out in a few days. So we've got a new limited edition transparent matte frames. Now this is the iconic Oakley aesthetic. These glasses are designed for performance. And on these, you know, we push the battery even further. You can run a marathon using them the whole time on a single charge, and then you can turn around and run another marathon on the same charge and still not be out of battery. The camera is centered for perfect alignment for your shots. It's got a wider 122-degree field of view, so you can capture all the epicness of your adventure in 3K. And it's got video stabilization. So that means that as you're going down a trail, you're going to be able to capture some really great video. All right, we are partnering with Garmin. And introducing auto capture. So now if you're wearing a Garmin device, the glasses are going to be able to automatically capture video when you reach certain speeds or different distance intervals, or you know, like every mile of a marathon. And then when you're done, we'll just stitch together all the videos for you, and you can overlay the stats on top of them, and you get a nice video that you can share wherever you want. First, Meta Horizon Studio. Now, over the last year, we've released a number of AI tools to generate meshes, textures, TypeScript, audio, skyboxes, and a lot more, so that way creators can make higher quality worlds in just a fraction of the time. Soon, Meta Horizon Studio is going to include an agentic AI assistant that will stitch together all of these different tools and further speed up the creation process using just simple text prompts. Powering this is our brand new Meta Horizon engine. Now, this is a new engine that we have spent the last couple of years building from scratch to replace the Unity runtime, which is great, by the way, but it just wasn't built for this use case. This engine is fully optimized for bringing the metaverse to life. It is much faster performance and to load things, much better graphics, much easier to create with. Watching video content is going to be a huge category, both in virtual reality headsets and on glasses, too. So we're launching a new entertainment hub that we are calling Horizon TV. And we are working with a bunch of great partners to include a bunch of movies and TV and live sports and music. So I'm excited to announce that Disney Plus is coming to Horizon TV and bring along content from Hulu and ESPN.
Well, that is all we have time for on this week's episode of World Business. As always, it's great to have you with us. From all of us here at A News, have a great weekend.